Good evening, everyone. It is Thursday as opposed to Tuesday, and we're going to make a shift here. We're going to start meeting on Thursday night, same time, 30 minutes, and I hope more people can join us with this change in time. We're going to get started now, and tonight's is going to be about exercise and the benefits, and I was going to say one other thing, and I forgot it before I said it. Age, right? Here I go. Let's share. Okay. Gail, we became the Habit Champions. Our team is named Habit Champions now. So, isn't that cool? That's what we do. We work on those habits. We have a new coach. She's Dorothy's coach. Her name is Denise. Denise is a member. She's the one in the middle there. Denise is part of the Sweet Outline. Dorothy, would you explain to Gail about Denise? And Denise will usually be here, but she couldn't this weekend.
No, she's heading down for a competition with the Sweet Airlines. She is an insurance agent, and we go to church together. And I met her because I went to handle my mother's insurance.
You're unmuted, Marsha.
Anyway, and we got to talking, and she said, and then that was in like November, December, and she said, I'd like to go on the program, but you know how life happens. And then she had gone on a cruise, and she came back from the cruise, and she was ready, and I mean, she's asked me questions that I had to question, because for the one question that she really, I didn't have an answer for her. She says, if I eat salmon, then how do I use a fat for my salad? How do I have a salad dressing? And so I said to her, I always had a salad, and I always had salad dressing. So I got an answer from Nutrition Support, and I sent it to her, but I used Walden Farms, but they gave her a more complete answer, and I don't have the answer in front of me. But it was amazing that I never thought of that myself all that while, that when you're eating salmon doesn't require a fat.
Yeah, that bottom category.
Right. And I never.
This picture, Gail, is this her 4 weeks in the program?
Yeah.
So we'll update that as time goes on, but she's a new coach, and you'll get to meet her at a later date, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yep. So last night's webinar was Shirley Mast and Brittany May and John Spencer. Did anyone get to see it yet? I saw it. I was on it live last night.
Yep.
And Dorothy, you were on? Anybody else?
Yep.
Nope? Okay. So Brittany May was on last night, and we all love Brittany May. We know her story. And I've even shared that video, I think, with you, Gail, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
Yeah. So this was her last night talking. I'm going to talk a little bit about her, and then we're going to get into tonight's subject about exercise.
Oh, hi, guys. Hi. So crazy stuff. I was always on the larger side. I mean, basically from the womb, I was the last kid to finish laps in kindergarten soccer practice. I was denied access to ride a roller coaster in front of all of my friends in 7th grade, but we still managed. We got through high school, we got through college, we landed my dream teaching job, and then I found out that I was the limiting factor for my students. I couldn't drive. I couldn't drive them to field trips. I couldn't make it through the day to just be there for them. I was in a constant mental fog, and then I realized I also didn't know how much I weighed. Thankfully, I had this little birdie. I had a friend of mine from high school who just loved on me for actually about 1.5 years before I agreed to listen and just hear what she had to say. She was a trusting friend. Why not listen? But I realized there I was at 23 years of age, weighing 514 pounds. I was over 1/4 of a ton. And we had those same conversations at the beginning. How much would you like to lose. Like, I just want to be a better teacher for my students, and maybe one day to be able to buy pants in a store again. Again, I was tried everything else. Why was this going to work? But I saw from the very beginning that this wasn't just about losing weight. It was about gaining life. It was about celebrating the victories along the way. It was about relearning my relationship with food. It was creating so many other freedoms. I can drive a car. I can be there for my students. I'm no longer basically a hermit in my parents' house, and next year I'm getting married. This one spark of wanting to be a better teacher for my students and creating health in my life has allowed me to be exponentially more available in every other facet in my life. And that's been, every day I'm finding something new that I couldn't do before, or celebrating a victory that it's just, life's a party. And I thought last year was great. I thought this year was great. Let's see what next year has to offer.
So I thought it was interesting how she said we. So apparently everything is done with her parents and as a family unit. And I know her mother got on the program and did very well. So I noticed about 6 months ago that Brittany was doing a GoFundMe to have skin removal. So you can imagine losing 360 pounds, I think it was, that she did have. And I'm going to show you that. And we all body shame people, and it's a shame thing. It's a shame that we all do it. And I think those of us that probably have gained and lost weight might be the worst people to do it. And when you think about if they didn't lose the weight, if they didn't have all that extra skin now, what would they have? They would have a life of disease. So when we make it about how we look, we're compromising our health in the process. But I want to share with you her skin removal. That's why I'm doing this. So that was Brittany. 336 pounds. In clothes, that dress that she was in the other picture, she has all that skin underneath that. So she wore garments to conceal it. And this is her 1 week after her skin removal.
Wow.
And this she wrote. Lisa, I'll let you read it.
Guys, I tried on a bikini and didn't die. I'm definitely not ready to rock this outside of the dressing room just yet, but maybe for the honeymoon. I know I just said I'm not comfortable wearing this, and yet I'm posting a picture, but posting a picture of being in it around people are two different levels of comfy.
And I can understand that. She has been one way for all her life. So this has, you know, how when people lose weight. Like I had the opposite. I'd been thin and fit my entire life, and then I got big, and I was still thin in my brain. I didn't even think about my weight because I still had that thin mentality. And I've heard that people that lose weight, even though they get thin, they still have that fat mentality. They have to, that's that mind, making up that mind, and like Lisa likes to say, flipping that switch, huh, Lisa?
That would be you, but I just want to, I know I don't want to interrupt, but I want to share today. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she was like Brittany May. She was always big her whole life, and I had such an awesome conversation with her today. She was relating how she lost 60 pounds, and she went shopping, and she was able to shop in the normal sizes, like up to large, rather than the 1X, 2X, 3Xs. And she was just glowing as she was talking about the experience of being able to shop in or Lane Bryant. You know, she was saying I had to always buy my clothes from Lane Bryant or this one store. And it was just amazing that, you know, she flipped her whole switch. And so she could relate, you know, I can relate to you because I was little, and then I was big and little and big. So I can relate to where your mind's at. But I noticed in her pictures, if you look from the neck up, that's the most phenomenal transformation.
Yeah.
The light on her.
Gail, Lisa is my niece.
Yeah, I know that.
She's my brother's child. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go back. Thank you, Lisa. Anybody else want to say anything while we still got the screen up? Okay. That was a great story by Brittany, wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't know she had the skin removal.
Skin removal.
There was one other thing that she did say, or they did say, is she never, ever went off program.
Yeah, they asked her the question.
In all the
Yes.
time that she was on it, she never went off program.
Yeah, they asked her the question, how many times did you go off program? And she said never. So that's amazing. That is amazing.
The first time I went on, when I met you, I stayed on the program. I did not go off it at all, and I lost the weight, but I can't seem to do it now. I don't know.
But we haven't gotten together yet. I'm still waiting for that call.
I know.
You'll
I'm
get-
still waiting to get my head on straight, too.
Yeah, we'll get it done. There's the last sheet in here will say something. Will speak to you, I think. Exercise and the aging process, staying fit as you age, and fitness is different for different situations. Some people have limitations. They've had knee surgery. Some people are, we have one guy that he's been in a wheelchair all his life, but he got in the program and got very fit. And I'm talking about Dorothy, right?
Yep.
And at one of the conventions, he literally walked up the stairs to the stage on his hands. He's quite phenomenal, and he inspires all of us. Here's a little short video. Everybody can hear?
Why physical exercise is vital for a healthy brain and body. Physical fitness through exercise is one of the most common pieces of advice offered by medics across the planet. There are many benefits of exercise when done correctly. Some of the most common include improved blood flow, general body fitness, weight loss, and stress relief. This video seeks to focus on some of the direct benefits of exercise on the brain and the body. So, exercise and the brain. Well, according to an article published by the Harvard Health blog, exercise helps the brain both directly and indirectly. Physical activity reduces insulin resistance, inflammation, and stimulates the release of growth factors in the brain that affects the growth of new blood cells. These growth factors also encourage the abundance and survival of new blood cells, keeping the brain healthy. Indirectly, it improves brain activity, which also improves mood and sleep, and reduces stress and anxiety problems. So, physical exercise has been proven to have some of the following effects. Number 1, boost the memory. Studies conducted on the hippocampus among children, adults, and the elderly showed that the brain structure grew after aerobic exercise. The hippocampus is part of the brain that holds the memory and is therefore crucial for learning. Number 2, improved concentration. Exercise improves the ability to focus on one task, ignore distractions, and also hold and manipulate information. Aerobic exercise improves retention among students and therefore crucial for children, adults, and the elderly as well. Number 3, improve mental health. Physical exercise is a great mood enhancer. The feeling of elation experienced after exercise is real and should be used as an alternative stress reliever. A 2010 study conducted for 8 weeks showed a significant decrease in the amygdala after yoga and meditation. The amygdala is part of the brain that is implicated in processing stress, fear, and anxiety. Number 4, slowing cognitive decline. Physical exercise delays the onset of mental wear and tear and dementia, especially among the elderly. It pays to exercise early in life to avoid mental illnesses that come with old age. A study published on the neurology suggested that women who were physically fit in their middle ages were 88% less likely to develop dementia than their peers who were only moderately fit. 5. Physical fitness and weight loss. A study published in the Indiana Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that an active exercise training program was ideal for reducing weight and improving physical fitness among obese children. The effects were possible even without a change in dietary composition. Number 6, protection of the body against age-related decline. According to a study published in the Journal of Aging Research, it suggests that physical activity maintained throughout life is accompanied with a lower risk of developing chronic conditions such as cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular, and coronary heart diseases associated with chronological aging. Number 7, improved heart and lung health. When done on a regular basis, physical activity, both moderately and intense, lowers the risk of developing coronary heart disease, Regular exercise strengthens the heart muscle and its ability to pump blood to the lungs and the rest of the body. The lungs automatically pick up the pace to keep up with the exercise and therefore become stronger as well. Number 8, it increases lean mass and strength. High frequency training and low frequency training both contribute to improvements in lean mass and strength in men and women. Strength training also helps alterations in metabolism, increase in bone density, reduce the risk of injury, and even rebuild lost muscle. The buildup of muscle is necessary for preventing a resting metabolic rate that causes obesity. High frequency training and low frequency training both contribute to improvements in lean mass and strength in both men and women. Number 9, improved cholesterol levels. Regular physical activity and exercise are effective in lowering cholesterol levels in the blood and thus preventing the onset of coronary heart disease, heart attacks, and strokes. Clinicians recommend aerobic training or resistance training to ensure that healthy cholesterol levels are achieved. Number 10, prevention and management of diabetes. Regular exercise can help delay or prevent the development of type 2 diabetes by 60%. Daily physical activity, aerobic training, or resistance training prevents sugar buildup in the blood. Insulin sensitivity increases and the body can take up glucose during and after activity. Any form of physical activity that helps the body burn calories, e.g. walking, cleaning, running, sports, is beneficial and should be included in daily routines. So in conclusion, daily physical activity and a variety of exercises have significant improvements on the brain and the body among children, adults, and the elderly. Therefore, it is important to include regular exercise in our daily routines to maintain a healthy body and also to prevent lifestyle diseases.
I remember when phys ed was a mandatory class in school. And they took that out of school, and then the things they feed kids in school, you would think they don't know about nutrition. So apparently it's not high on our list of priorities.
Mandatory here.
Huh?
Mandatory up here.
The phys ed?
Yeah, you don't graduate without the credits.
Wow, it's not true down here. None of our kids have had to have it.
Yeah.
They do. They're active in the sports in the school. So principles of energy balance. 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories stored. To lose body fat, a calorie deficit needs to be created. To gain body weight, a calorie excess needs to be created. Body weight changes are based on the relationship of caloric intake and energy expenditure. It's something we all know, but what does it mean to us? I know it. Every now and then somebody will ask me, do I know how many calories equals a pound of fat? And I can tell them that. But you have to use the science that is behind exercise. And exercise is good for a lot of health reasons. However, exercise is not going to help you lose weight to any great extent.
It can make you not lose weight. I learned the hard way.
Exactly. And I remember when we first started this program and they talked about not exercise and how it would put your body into, who's doggy?
It's mine, and I don't know how to mute.
Oh, that's okay. I can actually mute you, gal. Let me come back.
I learned that the hard way when I was in Alabama and I was first challenges. I bought a bike and I was working out hard and I couldn't understand why I wasn't losing any weight. It's because I was working out too much.
Yeah, because your body is only getting so much calorie when you put yourself into a weight loss mode. And I just wanted to really emphasize this in this video because I have Leslie for one. And she has put exercise into her program, but she's doing nothing that's huffing and puffing. I also have people who have restrictions and limitations that keeps them from exercising. And that's okay because exercise isn't going to get the weight off of you. When I see somebody in a gym that is obese and they got them on a treadmill or they got them on an exercise bike or they got them pumping weight, how much more effort are they putting on their heart when they are doing, I don't feel like they're doing them any favor. They need, if they want to put someone who is already struggling with a huge amount of weight on a treadmill, then they need to make sure that they don't overwork their heart. They don't need to do things that are going to overwork their heart. So even though exercise is good for you, there's correct, you heard him say that, doing exercise the correct way. And that's what we're going to do. We can't cover it all tonight, but it's well worth us putting the energy into learning about the correct way to exercise our bodies, as it make it as important as it is to how we nourish our body. And so all of us are not going to come tonight because we limit this to 30 minutes, but that's going to be something that I'll follow up with in next week's Zoom. I'll go back to sharing now. All right. 2 slices of pizza, 560 calories, 65 minutes of cycling. So you would think, since I made this about exercise, why am I discouraging exercise? I'm not discouraging exercise. I'm educating you in exercise. And I want you to approach this the same way you do sleep, nutrition, water, hydration, all of the healthy habits. Exercise is good, but it can be done wrong and you could hurt yourself in the process. So understanding what works and what doesn't work, I think, will help other people do it and do it consistently. Both of these women, we've used this picture before, are 74 years old. And I know from experience of people who are around me that have health and they have thin bodies, but because they haven't taken care of the muscular system, they're now on walkers, they're in nursing homes because people can't take care of them. They have to be somewhere where they have assisted living, and nothing else is wrong with them. And it's strictly because they didn't make exercise part of their life when it was possible. Falling is a direct result of no muscle mass. Flexibility, strength, all of those are important. And you don't really have to do a lot to correct that. Walking, parking a little further out, taking stairs instead of elevators, taking a walk around the block. Those are all exercise, but it has to be done intentionally and deliberately and every day for it to actually impact your overall health. You're not too heavy to exercise. Lisa does a aqua aerobics, right, Lisa?
Yes.
And you have so many stories of people that come in there. And go ahead and share just whatever one story about your water class.
I have a gentleman. He is early 80s, and he's literally bent over, like he does not stand upright.
Mm-hmm.
He started coming to class, and he gets out there and he just loves it. And the fact that when you see somebody like that, that's going to come in the pool when they're already, have issues, and get out there and work on it, that just really lifts your heart. And I have knee replacements. I had a gentleman that literally could not move his arm and did several months of just being in the pool, and he literally couldn't bring his arm above, and he increased his range of motion. I have just every day. A girlfriend of mine today that has never came. She just said, I want to lose some weight, and she came out there and she loved it. And she was been telling everybody all day, oh, that was fun, I'm going back. But when you see the improvements, I have people that I'll see that, like I have a lady right now. She would be around the pool. She was around the pool for several weeks and never came in class. And now she's in the pool, and she's lost 30 pounds in the 3 months that she's been here. She's doing other things. But in case you didn't notice, I love the pool because I have pain issues, and I baby stepped my way in. And I'm a big proponent of the pool. That's intentional exercise, but also neat, and it cures so many of the things. Everything is about baby steps, though.
Yeah. So it's not getting out there and punishing your body.
No.
It's just doing things that you're capable of doing without punishing your body.
Yes.
Muscles and tendons and joints, they have to be prepared. You can't go from doing nothing to going in there and hammering yourself. You're going to injure yourself.
Yes.
So Dorothy, would you read this?
Yes. Key components for the average person to achieve an optimal level of fitness.
Move closer to your computer.
A clear understanding of your own values and priorities in life, a willingness to align your personal behaviors with your values and priorities, absolute commitment and dedication to success as opposed to being interested in success, a coach, mentor, or accountability buddy or team, a commitment to rigorous honesty, clear, measurable goal setting, attaching your fitness goals to a higher life purpose instead of just losing weight, a system of monitoring, clarify, and accountability on key success, constant reassessment and redirection, celebrating small successes along the way, the ability to live in the now, elimination of the negative self-talk, constantly reframing your personal experience to reflect positive self-worth, gratitude, hope, and love. Never give up.
That's what I said to you, Gal. So you never have given up. That keeps you still in the game. Does this not sound like these are the principles for reaching an optimal level of fitness? How many of these also apply to reaching an optimal level of health?
All of them.
I was really surprised when I read this. And go ahead. You were done, Lisa?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, hon,
Yes.
I'm 87. I do Zumba. And Zumba is not that hard, but yet it gets your whole body moving. And it really feels good to do it. So at my age of 87, I'm out there doing Zumba. People say, well, you know, but I just have to keep moving all the time. And the movement is, I think, is what helps. If, you know, doing walking, that is just a simple exercise, just walking or doing something with yourself. I clean the house, I do something, you know, that keeps you going.
Well,
Of course, I've been an exercise. Since I was a kid, I've been doing heavy exercises.
For the sake of young people, what have you done in your life? You have a black belt in jiu-jitsu, right?
Taekwondo.
In Taekwondo, you
I was a
kickbox.
kickboxer.
Yeah. You run.
I play soccer.
So it's not surprising that at your age you're still physically fit because of sustaining that level of intensity and exercise. Your body has been conditioned for this for 87.
So keep
But
going,
it's never too late. That's the part about being intentional of what you're doing and not doing more than you should or you can. So you start little, it makes no difference what it is. I saw a cartoon where the guy is out there and he's walking and he says, I might be slow, but I'm ahead of you. That's what it says. and the other, and that goes right in hand with Dr. Anderson saying, when can I help people? I can't help people. I just started the program. He says, if you're one bar ahead of them, you can help them. So you don't have to be a specialist to help people. You just have a desire to help people. And then if people have a desire to help themselves, because it doesn't matter how much money you have when it comes to your health. If you want to be physically fit and you want to have a good, healthy body, the only person who can do that for you is yourself.
I would like to
We
add
all know that. We've been up and down many times.
I would like to add that the Zumba that, Aunt Connie mentioned that I do aqua aerobics, I couldn't do that not very long ago. I baby stepped my way in. And because I got in the pool during someone else's class and I stuck with it, then I was able to build on that. And now, were it not for the pool, I cannot go to the Zumba class that Aunt Connie does. And Marcia, All of us are in there together. It's fabulous. And the coordination and the use it, move it or lose your body, but those type of things also, you're using your brain, all the things they mentioned in the video. It's just whole health and whole life improving. But you can't just go out there and become a bodybuilder overnight or run a marathon.
And we do have a lot of unplanned solos, mostly unplanned solos, right?
Yeah.
And doing it for life, if you make it fun, you'll do it. So if you enjoy walking, get out and walk. If you enjoy riding a bike, get out and ride a bike. If you enjoy, dancing, then dance. Don't think of it as having to lift a weight or go to a gym. It's simply about getting up and moving. Learning to do it right. That's what we're going to do. We have not put any time into learning the guidelines of getting fit. Know your limitations and then defy them. The components that we're going to cover here in the next, if I don't get it into the next one, because I want all the information to be available. So if it takes me 2 to do it, I'll do 2. I might can get it all into 1, but we're going to cover aerobic exercise, strength training, flexibility, balance, nutrition and weight, rest and sleep. It's our habits of health, and they everyone apply to moving and exercising your body. Time for feedback. And Gail, what we do is we each give our takeaway from what we learned. My takeaway, and I wrote it down, was that we grow the brain with exercise. I didn't know that. And I knew the retention and the mental health benefit that you get from it. And you slow mental wear and decay. You're 88% less likely for dementia. And you're reducing weight. And I found that interesting that when he talked about exercise, you can reduce your weight with exercise. I'll unmute you, Gail. There you go.
Okay.
You can reduce weight with exercise. It's just not going to happen really quick. You have to do that with your calorie intake. And physical fitness. It lowers the risk of developing chronic diseases. It improves heart and lungs. Lean muscle mass burns more calories. So the more muscle you get, the more you can eat, which is another reason to build muscle. Strength training reduces risk of injury. That's the part about preparing your joints and your tendons by not going in there and overdoing and hurting yourself. Actually, as you get older, you do more reps with a lesser weight, and that's to keep you from hurting yourself. And we'll discuss all that as we learn how to properly do all of this. You increase your cholesterol levels, and you can manage the diabetes. When Marsha was getting out there and walking every day, her diabetes was responding to that. I remember that. So I think it's, again, part of the lifestyle change. And what we do is we pass from one person to another, Gail. So I will pass to Bird Mom.
I know you kind of covered everything that I was going to say.
Yeah,
you know.
well, I was going to.
But I like that they really tell you that you don't exercise to lose the weight. That's not going to happen. It's a combination of your eating, and the exercise is good for you in different ways too. It also burns up calories, but you cannot use it simply to lose weight. So I like that.
What'd you hear that you didn't know before you watch this? Because you've gotten into exercise with your weight loss. Did you hear anything you didn't know?
Well, I always would joke around and say, oh, I ate this, so I'm going to have to work out and burn off the calories, but it doesn't really work that way. It really doesn't.
Not unless you're going to do 65 minutes.
I know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Who are you going to pass to?
Mr. Tony.
Yes. Well, to me, I had no idea how much it works on your brain, and I need that. I need to remember things. And so I had no idea that exercise worked on your brain. So I always thought of exercise working on my physical body, my muscles, strength, my, you know, that I could go longer, I could walk farther, or I could run faster, or I could run slower, you know, that rather than the brain. So
Yep.
yeah, that was interesting.
Who are you passing to?
I'm gonna go to Dorothy.
I thought it was all very interesting.
Oh, there she is.
I think I need to live somewhere where it's warm in the winter so I can walk. Because
It is hard.
that is a problem because you don't get as much exercise in the winter.
It's true.
When you live someplace where there's snow and ice all the time. I also, while you were doing the one video, I did look up what Nutrition Support said about using a dressing on your salad. And their answer was, if you can find a 30-calorie dressing that is only one carb, it can be counted as one condiment.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yes, so I thought that was, I mean, and I was using the Walden Farms, which is zero everything.
Right.
I did use oil and vinegar also, you know.
Yeah.
Wine vinegar. So
It's okay, Gail.
yeah,
We're good
as
now.
a condiment. Yeah. So
That's good.
and I'm passing to Gail.
There you go,
Okay.
Gail.
A little distracted here. No, I learned quite a few things, many of which you've already mentioned, but the relevance of the exercise and the movement to sleeping. I mean, I've always had a problem sleeping, and in the past few years, it's gotten even worse. And as my physical condition has gotten worse, I've been able to do less. And I see that maybe if I can get to a point where I can do some exercise, I'll be able to sleep a little bit better too.
Yeah.
What my doctors told me, though, is right now I shouldn't be exercising because of the pain. You don't want to create more pain. But he said lose some weight and then get yourself in shape.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Call me.
I will.
Who you passing to?
Martha.
Which one?
The other teacher.
Yeah,
Me.
yeah, the one I met tonight.
I'm going to comment on what you just said, because before I lost this weight again and gained it and lost it. Anyway, even when I was heavier, I at least did stretches in bed or some 5 leg lifts. I mean, not very much, but a little bit of something. And it did give me the feeling of, well, I can't do much. I hardly walk around the house, but at least I can stretch my arms and my legs a little bit in bed in the morning before I get up. It made me feel good. I'm sure it didn't do much anything, but it just.
Who you passing to?
The other Martha.
No, she did already. Oh, no, Martha Pickering. Sorry. I'll catch up.
Okay. Well, basically, I think the exercise, I never did like gym when I was younger, but like Connie said, when I was walking and my sugar it really did help my sugar get under control. I mean, the weight and the 5-in-1 program. I have found that since I haven't been able to walk, I haven't been walking, but I've been like, when I'm standing at the sink or something, I like either go back and nothing hard, because when I had the back injury from a car accident, that was one of the things they told me to do at home. Like when you're standing at the sink, just kind of go one way or another while you're washing the dishes, or up on your toes and down, nothing strenuous. And so that's what I started doing when I first started on the program.
Excellent, Martha. And Lisa, we'll close with you, honey.
I think I've shared enough, but what I have learned is that whatever you're going to do, you have to baby step it.
Mm.
And that's, I say that all the time, baby step. But it's not new to me, but it just re-emphasized to me the common misconceptions that people have about weight loss and exercise. Something that came to mind when you were talking about putting strain on people that have excess weight, heart and whatnot. What came to mind immediately was America's Biggest Loser. I mean, that was this big phenomenon, and but you don't hear them talking about it now because it wasn't successful in the long run. So I think the best way to improve your health and improve your life is continuing education, and that's what I appreciate, Aunt Connie, you here, because even when you think you know something, there's just so much more that goes into losing weight and pounding it off your body or restricting what you eat. There's a balance to be achieved in all aspects of your life, what you're eating, how much you're moving, how much you're sleeping, what you're drinking. But that's the beauty of the Habits of Health, and this is the right place to be, and it's worked for me.
And when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Yay. Gail, this is how do you know that deaf people, they do this when they're clapping?
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, so we've all started doing that. So when you hear something you like, you
I'm going to do one thing because my dog has got my other hand.
There you go.
The only way to keep him quiet.
It's good to see you, Gail.
We'll see everybody next
And
Thursday.
Martha.
New day.
Good
I'll
seeing
see you.
everybody.
Good to see you, Gail.
I'm glad to be back. Make it
Welcome
easy.
back, Gail.
Thank you.
We'll see you next Thursday.